Welcome back to the shop, everybody. It's that time again. It's time for another Saturday night special where we talk about everything rockhounding related. So I hope you're having an awesome Saturday. Couple of things on the agenda for tonight's show. Wanted to bring up something that I saw that I thought was quite cool, which is there's another YouTuber here. I'm sure a lot of y'all subscribe to him. His name's Agates. Well, he got some gear to do some underwater rockhounding, which looks awesome. I gotta admit, I'm a little on the jealous side, you know. I have wanted to do something like that for a long time, you know. Go snorkeling, underwater rockhounding, whatever you want to call it. But it's just I just don't have the gear. I mean, you know, it's another aspect of the hobby that maybe someday I'll get into. But it's cool to see other people kind of getting into that. I know Katie did. She's gonna probably do some of that, or maybe she has in the past. I don't know. I just think that maybe it's came up in the past, but that's cool to see some underwater rockhounding. That's not something you typically see, you know. Let's see. Me and Sarah, we were going through our stuff, right, and we came across this bag of rocks right here, and this is from one of our first rockhounding trips, and well, these rocks are not impressive, but it's kind of neat to see some of the first stuff that we ever picked up. And you know, there's that's a little piece of jasper. Got this little granitic rock here. This is from Central Oregon. You know, that looks almost like a little piece of opal. It's so little, I'm gonna have a hard time showing it to you. But I think it's cool to see kind of the progression. I like dating everything. I mean, not everything is in Ziploc bags, of course. I like to use little jars and stuff, but it's kind of cool to see what you maybe thought was kind of cool years and years ago. Like, thought that piece of quartz was worth picking up and taking home, and you know, I think it's just a funny thing to look at, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I never would have known back in 2016 it would have ended up being what this is. We very recently cruised on past 3,000 subscribers on this channel, which is such a crazy number to think about. That's so many people. I mean, if 3,000 people were in a room, you'd be like, that's a lot of people. Well, going back to when we did a giveaway for 2,000 subscribers, the winner, Paul, he won some of he won some petrified wood that we collected up at Saddle Mountain. And well, he sent me a box of rocks, and one of the pieces in there was actually a piece from Saddle Mountain that he tumbled up. I'm not exactly sure how. This it's kind of on the fragile side. I assume it's vibratory. He did a vibratory tumble on it, since it's not really rounded off at all. So that's very cool. It's cool to think that I mailed this across the country. It was polished up, and now it's back. So that's a very awesome piece to have. He also sent something that I have a 0% chance of getting myself. He sent a couple of really big agates. Now, these are from Brazil, and he was telling me that, you know, he got these at a shop, and they're not very popular. And you know, there's kind of your brown looking rock, and I guess this place is visited by a lot of tourists, and well, I can see why maybe a tourist doesn't want to pick up this rock. But now that window on that shows a little insight into what this looks like. Now, he sent a piece of it sliced and polished, and you can kind of see that right there. That's very cool. Now, I'm not a big fan of chopping up my rocks. I like things to look as natural as possible. So what I'm thinking is I throw this in the saw, and I'm going to cut that piece off because it's kind of chipped already and polish a window into it and have this just kind of be a cool big agate with a polished window. That's usually my go-to on things. So I thought that was really cool. Now, some of you may have noticed from looking at the channel that we have a super sweet logo now. This right here. And well, I couldn't help myself. I got a bunch of stickers made, which it's like, it's pretty, I don't know. I love Thunder Eggs. Thunder Eggs are awesome. And, it's crazy to think that I have a sticker with, Sarah, myself, and my dog on it. But I had to get some made. I thought it was too cool. So I have those now. And what else? Yeah, that's kind of about it. I do have a idea for a rockhounding geological interesting thing video series. So I live in Northeast Washington. Now, I don't expect most people to know much about the Northwest, especially if you don't live here. Well, most people think of Oregon and Washington as being these beautiful, lush places filled with forests and rivers, and the small percentage of the actual states are that. The majority is a desert. It's like, you know, high desert, sagebrush type of landscape. Well, everybody, for the most part, lives on the west side of both of the states. And that's kind of reflected in a lot of the rockhounding guides for Oregon and Washington. The majority of the spots shown are on the west side. Well, the majority of material, in my opinion, is on the east side. And I've kind of demonstrated that here in this this rockhounding YouTube channel. But what I'm thinking about doing is taking Spokane, which is kind of like it's the second biggest city in the state of Washington, and it's the biggest city in eastern Washington, and doing kind of a series where it's rocks and geological oddities and interesting spots within an hour of Spokane. Now, I know most people are never going to come to Spokane, and most people watch this. I can tell that you guys don't live in Washington, right? So I'm thinking about doing that, though, just kind of like pique people's interest on Eastern Oregon. And I think I just want to hear some feedback. Let me know what you think, if that's something that you'd find interesting, even if you never plan on coming here, but just kind of the interesting geology out here, because I think it's some of the most fascinating geology in America. I love it out here, and we have a very interesting story to tell. I mean, real quick recap. Spokane used to basically be the beach. It was the edge of old North America, and so you have this granite, you have basalt flows, you have tectonic uplift, you have all kinds of cool stories happening here in Washington. A giant island getting added onto the state. You have Baja, BC, so that's Baja, Mexico, sliding up the continent and into British Columbia, and you can find rocks in Washington that used to be in Mexico. So we have a lot of cool stories, and I just kind of want to aim a flashlight on those a little bit. So let me know what you think of that, and I hope you had an excellent Saturday. I'm having an excellent Saturday, so I will see you on the next rockhounding video. I think I'm going to have some cool stuff coming up that should be very interesting, so be on the lookout for that. And as always, thank you very much. Have a good day.